birthday, friends all around. I should feel lucky, but I looked at my phone and seen that Gary Nolan blocked me. What the hell? How does he even know about me? The cake comes out, everyone is smiling. I know I should be happy too, but I'm dying, fucking dying, 'cause Gary Nolan blocked me. The world is crumbling all around me. I wanted Gary to tell me why he shared Chris Bartell's brain scans on TV. It's my birthday, friends all around. I should feel lucky, but I looked at my phone and seen that Gary Nolan blocked me. What the hell? How does he even know about me? The cake comes out, everyone is smiling. I know I should be happy too, but I'm dying, fucking dying, 'cause Gary Nolan blocked me. The world is crumbling all around me. I wanted Gary to tell me what aliens are planning, and I can't blow out my candles because of all of these scams. And I can't blow out my candles because of all of these scandals. It's a shame I brought all my homies to the stage.
This is Sky Fire News, the best UFO show on the internet. Sky Fire News is on the internet. Sky Fire News. Sky Fire News. UFO show on the internet. Skyfire News is on the internet. Come look for it on TV, mama. Fire News. This is Sky Fire News, the best UFO show on the internet.
This is Sky Fire News, the best UFO show on the internet. Sky Fire News is on the internet. Don't look for it on TV, mom. Sky Fire News. Now.
What up? The beat almost dropped right on time. Guys, everybody, welcome to Skyfire News. It's the best UFO show on the internet. That's what the song said, so we're believing it. Good to see everybody in the mix. Dude, today we had a crazy day. A lot of spaces happening. Green Street's video dropped. His interview with Kirk Patrick finally saw the light of day. We were looking forward to it over here just to see what's going on. We want to hear from Kirk Patrick himself as much as possible, and Green Street really got a lot out of him. He even pushed back on a couple things. We'll go over that. But yeah, I loved it. I loved the interview. Thought it was much needed. But it was sick, man. We also dropped some tracks today. But speaking of dropping tracks, an artist and Spaces host, Astral, has posted something that describes what he calls the decline of UFO Twitter Spaces, or X Spaces, a personal reflection. You know, I'm interested in this because Astral was hosting weekly spaces on remote viewing where he would like have an envelope ready, and this was every Thursday for like a year and a half. So the decline of UFO Twitter Spaces, I'm wondering what that's all about. I'm sure all of you guys are too. By the way, in the chat, let me know what you think about this background music. I love it. As always, we got the beautiful Red Panda Koala in the mix too. We can't get past that too. There he is.
What up? Still prepping a little few things.
You're good.
Here.
Prep away, dude.
Prepping,
I'm interested in this in particular. Astral's view on Twitter Spaces.
Shouts out Astral, friend of the show for sure.
They've been good to the community, as has, you know what? I feel like a jerk. I feel like a forgetful jerk. I'm over here talking about his weekly Twitter Spaces about freaking remote viewing. What about UFO Twitter Week?
Yeah,
he spearheaded UFO Twitter Week. It happens more often than Shark Week, and we love it. It seems like it's one of the best community things ever. But he organizes that along with the help of other people, I'm sure. But yeah, he spearheads it, and then it gets going, and we get great guests. It's a great week for Twitter Spaces. So I wonder what the decline's all about. Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we get back into? Let's get into this. What did the chat think about it? Or should we shout out some of the chat first? Maybe
yeah. Let them know. I'll get the music a little.
I'm editing this last little thing because Green Street dropped some bombs in these Twitter Spaces today after the fact. So we're going to cover this Kirk Patrick interview, and then we're going to cover some other things. I don't know if you even saw this one. You were actually in the space. You might not have been listening. He dropped an exclusive about Elizondo's book and some of the infighting that's going on in the circle. Pretty wild. What? Yes, that happened, sir.
Yeah. Dude, I love it. We love the Elizondo tea. You know what I mean? We do. We love it. Not just because we use this.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Let's just say during the Stephen Green Street exclusive about why Elizondo's book isn't coming out, you're going to be hitting that a lot. For sure.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
All right, well, so let me see. What are we doing? Sorry. Shout out the chat. Can you do that real quick while I pull up my timestamp note?
On it. Up first. Pizza Slayer. Good to see you, man. I love the UFO emojis. We love having you here. I like the fact that you guys take pride in being here first. And we try to show up for y'all as well. We got Anthony Jones. Dude, we love our members in the mix. You guys kept us afloat and kept faith in us while we were inactive. So it's great to have you guys here. Of course, Alana's in the mix. Of course she is. I wish we got to see the emojis, not just StreamYard shorthand. But that's fine. Hey, Ocean, good to see you. Good to see you. UAP, Zach in the mix. Hell yeah. Gary Nolan blocked me on repeat tonight. I think so. I think everybody's going to love it. I hope that the finally getting a video out on YouTube helps. You know what I mean? People be able to have access to it and watch it. And that's where we'll be putting, we have a playlist on there now. We'll be putting all the music up there as we go. Terrestrial Material, what up? What up? Terrestrial Material really liked the full version of the Richard Doty song. For Terrestrial Material specifically, I finished the song. I got a couple DMs last night about the music, guys. You guys reached out for real. I got like a couple, maybe a few, maybe 2 or 3, but it was wild. People I thought it was cool. So we're hearing you. We're incorporating in there. We got that full version for you. Even got the cool AI art. Check this out. Look at that. He's looking good. Doesn't really look exactly like him, but we're getting there. Beggars can't be choosers. Hood Hustler, big ups everyone. Big ups to you too, man. Welcome. You guys are the Skyfire family for sure. We got Turbo, Propello. Anyone, what AI tool are used for the songs? Absolutely answered by UAP Zach. It's Suno AI. Ben, good to see you, Ben. Welcome to the mix. Derek Daughtry, what up? Our friendly neighbor and member, Skyfire. We love you here. Stone Date in the mix. Green Street. If Stephen Greenstreet's watching, will you unblock Skyfire News and also Stone Date? We don't know what's happening. Why are you blocking?
He blocked Stone Date too?
We don't even know why. We're going to get to the bottom of it there. We will. We'll figure it out. By the way, Green Street gave me the first question. Yesterday. I had the first question in Green Street space.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's cool. He called us thieving assholes yesterday, by the way. But that's not us, dude. That's a Keem Twitter thing. The not linking, because we posted his trailer trying to show him love. Trying to do the thing, right? And yeah, because we didn't link the videos, like these thieving assholes didn't even link the interview. So I don't know if he'll be coming on anytime soon. Hopefully, though. Always down.
You know what my next question was going to be? I had my hand up. He kept passing me up. Do you know what it was going to be?
Oh, he kept passing you up?
Yeah.
Because you asked the first question.
I asked the first question. We had a little back and forth, and I was like, I got another question. It was literally going to be like, how do you want to be sourced when we report on this and the stuff you do? How do you want to be sourced? I thought that would have been a cool little bridge. I had no idea he said that yesterday. Little ass. Green Street, get over it. Figure it out. We got Andrew. Andrew, always good to see you. Monkey Paw. Astral has helped me a lot. Astral's a great guy. What's his take on the UFO stuff, on the spaces? We got to know. Tupa Fire News from UFO Intros. Good to see you in the mix.
Did he say Tupa Fired News?
Tupa Fire News.
Fired News, bro. Oh, Tupa Fire News. Okay, sorry.
Tupa Fired News is actually pretty sick. That'd be sick.
Tupa Fired News. Okay.
From the member Stone Ape, Astral's my boy. He's good. Blue's my boy. And my background color. So I think he's also good. Fessler was using Skyfire clips the other day while shit talking.
Oh, dude, hit us with a timestamp. We'll react to that at the end of the show.
Yeah, we'll react. I actually love, obviously it's great when people reference us in the positive. But if it comes in the negative, we'll check it out.
All right. So did you watch this interview yet or no?
I listened to the first half of it.
Oh, in Logan's space earlier when he was...
No. I put it on while I was driving. I had to do a ton of driving today. So I just had the...
Driving?
Yeah, we driving out here.
Okay, should we turn on the music then? Sorry, we're kind of like a little off our kilter there. But yeah, so this happened today. Everyone was kind of hyped about it. Or hyped or also anti-hyped. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like dreading it. Not dreading it. Like scoffing at it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you got two people, right? Green Street and Kirk Patrick, who, what's the general vibe about both of those people, I guess, before we watch the, boom. Got him. So why were people either excited or scoffing at this interview, Tupa?
Because it's two supposed skeptics. The UFO community it identifies people and it others them very quickly, depending on if they go with the flow or not. I think a lot of people believe that we're on the cusp of true disclosure, so a lot of people are scared to go outside the boundaries of what they're being told about it. Whereas Kirkpatrick and Green Street represent another side. They're not really afraid of not really talking shit, but calling out what they're seeing with the problems of the process. So people are, we're looking forward to this or preparing for this, however you fall on that side, because they're like two, I guess, titans of, I don't want to say anti-disclosure, but they're definitely being painted that way. So having this interview is kind of it's kind of a big deal. And I want to know, do you think we got what we wanted out of it? Do you think it was what, let's say the haters of these two people, do you think it was easy to write off, or they have to digest that information?
I would say, if anything, there was a situation where people were the haters of Green Street, who are like the true believer camp, were pleasantly surprised at some of the pressing he did against Kirkpatrick. Although some people attribute it to lying, or Kirkpatrick might have pulled a Grush and may have misremembered or misconstrued where he was at certain times and locations. So, yeah. So on my notes, what do I got here? Let me pull this up.
last minute I put the Pentagon in the background of that image.
Oh, let me see.
It's doing the heavy lifting, I think. But
yeah, that's really good. That's like the best photo of the Pentagon too.
I like the perfectly one, the top down one that I used for the Skinwalkers at the Pentagon cover redo. But that's me.
Okay, I think this might be easier to just open on my phone to look at my notes. LOL. Okay, so the first part is because this interview is like edited really well and whatnot. So everyone should definitely go like our video right now. Go like Stephen Greenstreet's video, which this one we probably should put in the thing afterwards, right? Yeah, because we're going to talk about it mostly. But yeah, the first note I have here, we got.
Oh wait, there's a third step to that. I think 1, go like our video. 2, go watch Greenstreet's other stuff, and then also leave a comment on his stuff that says unblock Skyfire News.
Oh yes, everybody go. Yes. Oh, great job, Tupa. Holy cow.
You know.
Oh my goodness. Let me see where we're at.
The information has to flow.
The information.
Just like the.
Breaking news, Tupa has declared, I'm with it. Everyone go comment on this video, unblock Skyfire News. Hashtag free Skyfire News.
Yeah, free Skyfire News. That's a good one. Hashtag free Skyfire News. And I will do my unblocking, I think maybe tomorrow. Or maybe that's a Saturday thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so yeah, here's the yes or no part, I think.
Yes or no questions. Just yes or no. While preparing the Arrow report, did you have access to everything you needed, including classified programs and top secret information?
Absolutely, yes.
Were you ever denied access to anything while preparing this report?
No.
Did you have Title 10 and Title 50 authorities?
Yes.
Title 10 and Title 50.
Okay, so do you remember this whole spiel about the Title 10 stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it might be worth just covering.
I think it basically is the things that you'd need access, you need to have in order to get access to these things.
Yes, and there was this whole issue with Gillibrand where like at that hearing that they didn't have it at Arrow. So this is something that people were harping in on. Wait, why did he act like he had it the whole time? I don't know. I think people are maybe grasping at straws for this one. Let me see if I can't find the video in like 2 seconds. We're just gonna move on. Okay, I think this is it. No, not it. Okay, never mind. Okay. All right. The next thing. He's asked directly about evidence of NHI. Let's see. This is all edited. You know what I mean? It's probably like a 10, 15-minute interview edited into like a 30-minute piece that gives the audience a lot of like background stuff. But we can't just watch the full interview. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Did you find any evidence of alien bodies or the bodies of non-human intelligence?
No.
No.
What do you think, Tupa? Is he lying or is he telling the truth?
I think he just lied in the first one where he took a sip of coffee.
Oh, okay.
But that could have just been because he wasn't ready for the questions. I don't think that's what it was. But the next two sounded fine to me.
Okay. This is This is where he talks about like that little like weird small circle group stuff. This is your stuff, Tupa.
From the last 6 years, be traced back to the same exact core group of UFO true believers.
As we've put into the report, you'll find a section of where a number of these people worked together over the last couple of decades. The story seems to all point back to them.
Due to various legal reasons, Kirk Patrick is prohibited from specifically naming the names of the people in this group. But my previous reporting at the Post has revealed...
Okay.
I see no lies on that thumbnail.
So this is interesting. He's legally obligated not to name these names, right? And we all know who he's naming. Who's he talking about here, Tupa? Who's the small core group of people?
Christopher Mellon, Eric Davis,
Lou Elizondo,
David Grush, Hal Puthoff, Leslie Keane, Kit Green, Gary Nolan.
Yes. And then so in one of the spaces, shouts out Logan. I was able to ask him.
How are they doing?
A little follow-up on
organizing question.
Yeah, I want to get over to Red.
Curious of back channel. And what's up with why can't
the
he
panda,
name people? Do you know
panda
what's that
Yeah.
about? And I'm curious if back channel, did he name anyone?
No, there is a legal clause, an actual legal clause in Arrow where
and he provided it to me. And in fact, I think it's actually in the Arrow report. It's referenced. It says basically anyone who came to us, anyone who comes to Arrow is protected. Their identities are legally protected under some clause. And so everyone that he spoke to for the Arrow report, he's not able to name by name. The only person he's been able to name by name is David Grush, and he's only able to talk about what Grush accuses Arrow of. So if one of these interviewees was to come out and criticize Arrow for X, Y, and Z, Kirk Patrick can address that publicly by name. But anything else, he just legally can't do it.
That's interesting. It's almost like...
All right, Chupa, can you guess where my mind went after hearing that?
No, tell us.
So Kirkpatrick can't name Elizondo and Mellon and Davis and Pudoff publicly because of legislation, because they went and talked to Arrow, right? And he's only publicly named and shamed Grush because Grush didn't talk to Arrow. What do you think's going on there?
Maybe because what they said is still, maybe is so crazy that they're still looking into it. Open investigation. I don't know.
So my conspiratorial brain, LOL. Best case scenario, they went to Arrow first. They felt like they weren't listened to. They told Grush, screw it. Worst case scenario, they're fully aware of this clause, and they were like willing to let Grush be the only one who could be publicly like backhanded by Kirkpatrick when they all went to Arrow. Because I'd imagine the reason Grush didn't go to Arrow is because of these exact people, right? Talking to them about Arrow. So like, I just find it interesting that like, there's all this hoopla about like, did Grush go to Arrow? Grush is never going to trust Arrow. Why would he do that? But meanwhile, Lou Elizondo went to Arrow, Chris Mellon went to Arrow, Eric Davis, they all went to Arrow, and now they can't be talked about publicly. But Grush is out here like allowed to be talked about publicly because he didn't go to Arrow. Isn't that interesting? Or is that preaching?
No, I mean that's what we're looking at, right? So to think that it could have been like a play or something, you know, like a strategy, you know, it's not out of the question. I like that theory.
Right,
I like
for
that
sure.
theory.
All right, now let's get back, and it's because it lets us into our next point of the city we're going to like just be talking about, which is he's asked about Grush, right? And this whole kind of back and forth, like who ghosted who, da 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 da.
David Grush formally invited to speak with Arrow and present evidence of his claims.
Arrow invited him 5 times. That was documented and put into the record.
Did David Grush actually ever come in?
At the time of my retirement, he had not.
Okay, here's another good one, Rick Roberts. I like it too. I don't want to just be like pessimist panda over here, although this isn't like a great optimistic look on the situation. But maybe they got slapped with NDAs. That's why Grush didn't go. It was a trap, and that's what I'm saying. That's like best case scenario is like all these other dudes went, sussed it out. Something's not right here. Grush don't go. Worst case scenario, they're like, no, Grush, don't go. Trust, don't go. And then they're going and like getting this like legal amnesty almost to like be talked about publicly by Kirkpatrick. Maybe for a good thing. Maybe because honestly, you know what I mean? Grush is kind of one of the better ones of all of them. So like strategically, you know what I mean? If let's say Lou Elizondo's done some things that you're not proud of that Kirkpatrick could publicly harp on national news, you know what I mean? To like point fingers. Maybe you do want Grush as the only one who could be talked about because he is kind of like, he seems like a stand-up guy, I would say. But, you know, I don't know. I've just, after the Elizondo burn, I just it's hard to go all in on a counter intel.
There might be something to that. There might be something to that, man.
Right? I feel like there kind of is, right? Because Grush is definitely, I mean, I definitely think Grush is way better than Elizondo, for sure. Okay, so let's continue this.
David Grush, in fact, refused to do that.
He provided a couple of different reasons at various times of why he didn't want to come in. His lawyer contacted me and had a conversation about it. They did not want to come in.
What Kirkpatrick just said here has been a big point of contention, because back in 2023, after Grush appeared before Congress, Kirkpatrick publicly said that Grush had refused to speak with Arrow. But Grush, publicly, in the mainstream media...
So yeah, this ties into that Black Vault FOIA from the other day, which is pretty wild. There's also this part where they talk about the Congressional UAP caucus, and how listen to this. I was shocked by this actually.
New official acronym for UFO.
Listen to this, stupid.
Some members of the UAP caucus, which is currently spending taxpayer resources on UFOs,
Sick
weren't
lineup.
impressed or convinced by Kirk Patrick's Arrow report. Congressman Tim Burchett, Tennessee, one of the leaders of the so-called House UAP caucus, was asked about what he thought of the Arrow report. Burchett responded, quote, "They're lying to us. They're not telling the truth." Your response?
Well, I have not spoken with Tim Burchett. He has not requested an Arrow brief in the time that I was there, so I am not entirely certain what he's basing.
What do you think about that, Tupa? Kirk Patrick's never spoken with Burchett.
I thought that was surprising when I heard it. I'm like, I thought they would have already chatted, but the fact that they haven't, I think that that's great.
Oh, look at what we got.
Oh, are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
Nowadays I'm all about the fatty. You better get some. Too busy hating, ain't getting none. Me, I'm all about the fatty. Ain't getting none. Me, I'm all about the fatty. Yeah, they ain't ready for.
I'm going to say something I haven't said since college. Thanks, Wang Wang. The answer to that question is interesting, right? Why is Lou Reviews so butthurt about all this stuff? Well, this is interesting because Green Street plays a role in this, not like an active role, a passive one. In fact, like Lou Reviews kind of crossed him with some weirdo stuff, but essentially Lou Reviews was playing a game that he got caught up in, which was like, the access game. Build a show around the access to a UFO celebrity. And that was Lou Elizondo. And yesterday, the day before, Lou Reviews held a show, a live stream, where he discussed specifically how he was blackmailed or psyoped or deceived or lied to by Lou Elizondo and what that did to his show. So definitely check that out if you want to see it.
And we might touch on it a little more at the end too when we go through Astral's thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a short and sweet way. He was basically set up by a counter intel dude, and then I feel like is lashing out at the community who probably should have had his back a little more, right?
Facts.
I mean, me and you both were like, screw this entire community after some of the stuff that's allowed to happen here.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think he's kind of lashing out at too many people.
We got another one.
Oh shoot.
My bad. There we go. Beats.
Nowadays I'm all about the fatty. You better get some. Too busy hating, ain't getting none. Me, I'm all about the fatty. Ain't getting none. Me, I'm all about the fatty. Yeah, they ain't ready for.
Let's go, dude. Okay, a great question. Every time I think I might believe Sean Kirkpatrick, I think about his report on Eglin Air Force Base. Quote, commercial lighting balloons that got lost. Get the F out of here. Have you guys looked into that one yet? Sean Kirkpatrick is full of shit. Sorry.
Yeah, we've covered Eglin a few times here at Skyfire. We covered what Matt Gates said about it. And then Arrow, they did a thing where it was a balloon. And that's the thing too, right? And it's kind of with Lou Reviews and Green Street where it's like, I don't think Sean Kirkpatrick's like intentionally lying. I feel like if anything at best, maybe he's not given access to everything that he thinks he should have access to.
Yeah.
But when you see things like that, right, and the Arrow report was pretty bad, I will say. If I was like a professor and that was a college paper, I'd probably give it like a B-.
Damn, I wish we had grades that we could slap on this. Now, that's interesting. I like his... I wonder if he is lying about the fact, like if he's overselling his access, right? If he's completely underplaying the fact that he was denied access to certain things and he's like overstating how much freedom he had to look into stuff. If there was a lie from Kirkpatrick, I think that might be where it's at.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess let's get back to this interview a little bit. I'm like trying to post something around too. I'm telling you, this clip they're about to watch about he said about Lou's book is hot fire. Got to get it out.
Did any of the members of the so-called Congressional UAP caucus meet with you, talk with you at all?
No.
No?
Nope.
It seems kind of strange for a UAP caucus to not talk to the UAP guy.
You would think there are certain members of Congress.
Okay, can we talk about this? So that was basically where I was going with the Burchett thing. Like, it's like crazy enough that Burchett didn't, but none of the UAP caucus has talked to Kirk Patrick. Isn't that weird?
Yes.
That's like, it almost feels like they're scared of him talking to Kirk Patrick. You know what I mean? Do you get that vibe or no?
Yeah, like yes. Like I don't know. Like he might ask the right questions, the wrong questions. He might uncover something. It's sketchy. I don't like when people don't play ball with the people who are supposed to investigate, and then they criticize the investigator. There's something doesn't right there.
Yeah, it's because they're all saying some pretty strong words about him, right? So at least talk to the guy, you know. But and then it's that framing too, because like I guess I could understand with Grush, right? Maybe like let's go with Grush, right? Why didn't Grush go talk to them? If we're giving him all the benefit of the doubt, it's because like all the other people went previously, and then they were like, oh, sketch, don't go. But Congress people aren't like necessarily the ones disclosing things, right? So
true. They don't know. They don't know shit. To be frank.
Yeah, that's really weird. Okay, let's see. Oh, here's a part for us, bro. Where they speak about the harassment. So Sean Kirkpatrick, believe it or not, and this is probably why me and Tupa do like him a lot. He's had more guts than a lot of the people in this community to actually speak out against the harassment that takes place within it. Like you won't hear Elizondo, Gary Nolan, Sean Cahill, Jeremy Corbell talking about this. In fact, you'll hear them doing the opposite, like uplifting some of the worst harassers. But here's Kirkpatrick
uplifting their tweets.
And like we've covered on the show before, just about every public speaking event or interview that Kirkpatrick has done, he's spoken about this. He spoke about it at the first NASA hearing. He spoke about harassment at the second NASA hearing. He spoke about harassment when he was still director at the Hayden Center giving a talk. He spoke about it in his interview with our friend Danny, remember? And then that caused Danny to get harassed, that article that came out, and he's speaking about it again here. And this is what maybe we'll listen to it and then we'll talk about it first.
Obstructing how we're doing business or negating the way we're trying to lay out the evidence. That is frustrating. And then to ensure that my people and my team are safe from prosecution, because one of the things that I am livid about is the fact that, you know, I walked into this job and was told to go do this. It was demanded of me, not just by Congress, but by the American people, that I had to be objective and open, follow the data wherever it would go. And I made those promises in testimony that I would do so. But that apparently does not apply the other way around. And so whenever I lay out, hey, the data says that's not
here we go. I think that's where we're headed.
What you think it is, it's actually this. Instead of people going, okay, well, let me follow the homework and see how, okay, you might be right. No, they get violent. They get offensive. They start sending hate emails and letters and threatening my family, threatening me. And it's all right if you want to threaten me, right? Like I said, I've been all over this world and I've had better people than that chase me around. I don't care about that. But when you start coming after my daughter and my wife, because I'm telling you that you're wrong, that it's not an alien, that it's not a cover up, that it's actually something completely different, that is irritating.
What do you think about that, Tupa? Who does he sound like there? Are you there, Tupa? Oh, Tupa's gone.
I'm in the mix.
Who does he sound like there, bro?
I don't know. I want to know what you're thinking here on this one.
Oh, just that. Okay, I want to know what you're thinking on this one. He sounds like us, right? Like, bro, why are you attacking my daughter because of UFO stuff?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. Like what is this gonna do for anyone? What the hell's going on? Yeah, his reaction to that, and I think is totally realistic. You know, UAP Mike questioned if he'd ever really been harassed. He's like, has he ever shown proof of this? And I'm like, dude, doesn't it line up exactly with what we know happens to the people who agree with Kirkpatrick or fall in line with that on that side of it too? It's like, It's almost no reason to doubt
Someone
it.
went to his house. I mean, we see it. Everyone in the chat knows exactly who the group is that still to this day like harass him. They make pictures of him fat. But yeah, looking up his family stuff. Someone went to his house. Like, yeah, we said it's. And this is what I say too. You're giving them this, like, one, it's wrong morally for our community, and no matter what anyone says, the amount of times these people like this have the guts to talk about it and our community doesn't, like, this is part of the historical time period of this phase of ufology, of the ufology community. Too many people have spoken about it for it to just like not be a thing, right? And if they're the only ones speaking about it, they're going to be the ones controlling the narrative on this. And that's why I say, like, don't give them that ammo, Lou Elizondo and company. Don't interact with the people who are doing all the worst harassment. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Oh God, I wish, bro. I would give anything to talk to this fool, like, off the record, where you could like name names. Because remember, the certain harassment archive out there by Moran Lerner clipped something where
Top of the morning,
where he talked about getting harassed back in November, and the Hayden Center, which is the think tank for Michael Hayden, a former director of the CIA, where the event was held that he was speaking at, liked the post. Like, it's so weird, bro. It's so weird. But yeah, just don't give people ammo like that. Because like I said, I think the report is actually kind of hella flawed, right? But he's also not wrong here that, like, this stuff is crazy. And I bet you behind closed doors, he's willing to make the exact same connections we are. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Green Street implied so much, right? He said, like, he can't name them, but, you know, I can. And he, like, showed that thumbnail. It has the lineup, dude. The lineup. The core group of believers.
Arthur says, I think he is making that stuff up to manipulate people into sympathy, which, honestly, if you want a quick way to get my sympathy, it's get attacked by this group. But the UFO group, I don't know, bro. Honestly, I think I disagree with you on this one, Arthur. I think it's totally, like, comes from the same. I bet you Kirk Patrick got an uptick in harassment after every single time Matt Ford made one of those little, like, call out propaganda posters about him, for sure. And I actually think I documented that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I'm willing to bet after anytime Jeremy Corbell calls him like a piece of dog shit or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he said that, like, he's been on an assignment all around the world and he's never been like had to deal with stuff like this, right? Like, literally hunting terrorists and stuff like that. And, like, he wasn't having to worry about his family in the ways he is after investigating UFOs. And this is by the UFO community, the pro UFO people.
Sounds very Scientology.
Right? Yeah. And that's something that Green Street harped in on. Let me see. I don't know if I have that timestamp. Maybe we could just talk about it. One of Green Street's biggest takeaways, basically, that he said in a space earlier was that Kirk Patrick had said, and it might be worth it. I mean, just trust that he said this. That the biggest threat of this whole thing is that there's a group within the government that believes these unfalsifiable things, and they all have, like, high-ranking positions. And, like, when you hear Green Street talk about it, it sounds just like Operation Snow White minus the Scientology. Is basically what Kirk Patrick's fear is. So
it's a realistic fear. Operation Snow White, if you want to know what that is, watch Disney movies. No. There's a couple documentaries about it. Essentially, it's tax intimidating the IRS by paperwork. Scientology organized a huge thing where they end up becoming tax exempt because of it. They had, like, thousands of people file lawsuits against them. And they're like, we'll drop all these if you just give us tax exemption. And then they did it. The IRS folded. So.
Well, not that. Operation Snow White is the largest infiltration of the U.S. government ever. And basically a bunch of Scientologists infiltrated various levels of the government, FBI, CIA, IRS, and destroyed a bunch of records, did a bunch of data collection. And it was going on for like 10, 15 years, I think. Maybe that's a little time. Maybe like 7 years before it got caught. And when somebody got caught at, like, the IRS doing some sketch stuff and they pulled on this string, there was this, like, entire network across, like, all these different government agencies. I feel like even stuff like the National Forest Service and stuff like that. And they were all just kind of working to, like, collect information and control the flow of information pertaining to the church. And when you hear Green Street talk about that, that's what it kind of reminds me of.
That's crazy.
All right. See, sure. The TPS increase is sure a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. The invisible college sucks balls. Yeah, and I know, Arts. But also, this is what I'm saying though too, right? If there wasn't an environment of like rampant harassment that we could point to, for sure, there like, and he was lying. And I honestly don't think he's lying. But let's say he was lying for sympathy. Like there would be less of a leg to stand on if, like, you know what I mean? There wasn't just this entire evidence of all this stuff. Let me see. Is there anything else? Oh yeah. So let's get to this.
People at the top. I mean, Lou.
Let's get to this Lou Elizondo. So yeah, shouts out Stephen Greenstreet. I think that's about it. Is there anything else you want to talk about in the in this piece before we move on?
No, I can't wait till it more develops. I want to hear Greenstreet more. I want it to develop. We should interview Kirk Patrick. You know, but I think we covered that. We did as much as we could before Greenstreet yells at us.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the
got his book coming.
Here's a piece from whatchamacallit. Can you actually press play on this one?
Yeah.
Out and do you guys want an exclusive?
Right here.
Yes. Delayed, right? Well, let me phrase it this way. From what I have, the information that was given to me from right from a horse's mouth, one of the horses in the race, I should say, is that one of the reasons Lou Elizondo's book has been delayed is because people within the circle on the inside in this group, you go pull up the group in my video, a group of people within that are going, wait, you can't say that, Lou. Like, that didn't happen. That was me. That wasn't you. That was me that did that. You got to change that. Like, you can't just say that. And so there's
Put
this
a lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Where they're starting to call each other out. You know, there was this like the ends justify the means thing at first back in 2017, 2018, where it was like everyone was on the same team and whatever we have to say, you know, the ends justify the means. And since then, there has been like these little micro fractures within the group. And yeah, some people are fed up within that group. Some people are just fed up and they're just like, they're kind of over it. But yeah, so there's all that stuff coming on. I'm looking forward to reading his book, to be honest with you, because it's all the stuff that he doesn't or hasn't talked about that I'm interested about reading about, you know, like, I hope he goes into the Guantanamo stuff and, you know, like how he saved American soldiers' lives with his psychic powers. Like, I really hope there's a whole chapter on that. Like, Lou Elizondo using his X-Men Magneto powers to, like, save American troops. Like, I want to read a whole book about that. So, anyway, I'm looking forward to the book.
Hell yeah.
What do you think about that, bro?
Lou taking credit for things other people did. Do you think he's taking, what's the word? Liberties, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like,
and we sorry.
No, like that's it. Like, he's like making editorial choice. Like, oh, it's just a book. I'm just trying to make the story better. So, you know, for the reader, I got to be the guy that did that. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like that's gonna be crazy.
Signed copy $60. Lou Elizondo in the chat says no, but also this reminds me of a friend of the show, Jeremy McGowan. During the whole when they were pitching their stuff to HBO, Lou apparently was acting like the Osiris was like his vehicle and like selling it up and hyping it up in all these ways that like Jeremy was like, wait, that's not true. Like, my car can't do that. My car isn't this. My car isn't that. This isn't your car, right? So like, I don't know, man. And I think remember when the Lukatsky book came out? I think Lukatsky was throwing some shade too. Like, bro, you didn't run. I ran OSAP. So this is interesting. I'm excited for the book, Lou. I see you're in the chat. I'm freaking hyped. Wait, Lou is Magneto? Oh yes. If you didn't know this either. Per the Lukatsky book, and Lukatsky ran OSAP, Lou Elizondo used his psychic remote viewing powers to save a bunch of soldiers in like Afghanistan or Iraq. So like, I always read that as in like within some official capacity, Lou is claiming to have been a remote viewer, like a Project Stargate type thing. UAP Mike, friend of the show, was like, I don't know if that was like an official thing or it was just like Lou picked up remote viewing on his own and used it. But also it ties back into the McGowan stuff, right? And maybe he'll unblock us one day too. But McGowan claims that Lou Elizondo was all about like remote viewing and like was predicting his future and all this stuff. That Lou's apparently all into all this stuff. Which I mean, I think a lot of this stuff is true. Don't get me wrong, but it is interesting the way it's like not talked about. Although I guess I understand, right? Let's say Lou Elizondo can do all this weird psychic power stuff. I'm not saying that that's the case. I
Tough
guess
sell. That's a hard sell.
Is it the goatee?
We'll start there.
Are you telling me that people high up in the military have an inflated sense of self-importance? What a shock. Beats and Meats got it. But yeah, so apparently that's the reason. And also, too, I found this interesting. It's just like, it's like what James Lacat, or sorry, there's so many names. What Jay Stratton also told Jeremy McGowan, right? McGowan at the center of all this, Psyoper McGowan, that people are tired of cleaning up Lou's crap, right? So that's interesting. That's the reason for the delay. Remember when we covered his website a few weeks back? It was almost like a you guys aren't getting away from me type vibe when you read through everyone he's listing. I don't know.
That's a good point, dude.
Any guesses on who it was that Green Street was told this by? Let's listen to that little intro again.
Do you guys want an exclusive?
Yeah.
Yes.
Delayed, right?
Body.
Well, let me phrase it this way. From what I have, the information that was given to me from right from a horse's mouth, one of the horses in the race, I should say, is that one of the reasons Lou Elizondo's book has been delayed because
one of the horses in the race. Who do you think that is?
Jay Stratton.
I think so too.
Really?
I do. He's already talked to McGowan to talk mad crap about Elizondo to McGowan.
And he might be wanting to get ahead. He might be wanting to get ahead of this. You know what I mean? The stuff that he said, it sounds like he's kind of sketched out about the stuff that... Tired of cleaning up Lou's shit? That's a huge statement.
Oh, what about this one? Ready? What if it's James Fox? He's been kind of on this like anti-circle stuff lately, right? Like naming the circle, being like publicly pissed at the dynamics created by the circle.
You think James Fox would talk to Green Street?
I think people who are emotional and feel manipulated might reach out to like whatever they can to like, you know what I mean? And Green Street does have a platform, and Green Street is publicly known as like the guy that's kind of like fighting back on some of the claims of this inner circle, right? Very much so. And actually, Tupa, they'd probably go to Green Street more because Green Street was very much inside the circle at one point, right?
True.
Way more than you and I ever were. He had a direct line to Mellon, Elizondo. They're helping him draft the scripts for his episodes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if anything, Green Street might be the person that somebody who wants to go whistleblower on the circle would go to the most because he would understand them the most. You know what I mean?
What if it was Ross Coulthart?
Yeah, live chat. Who do you guys think it is? Everyone guess. Ross Coulthart, maybe. And again, for the same reason, I think he might go to Green Street. Although Green Street has been kind of kind of dickish, I guess is the word to say about Ross Coulthart. So I don't know. That might shoot him in the foot. Any whistleblowers from the circle want to come on Skyfire News? Me and Tupa have a very extensive track record of, I feel like,
not being psyoped.
Not being psyop, speaking out against some of the weird dynamics created by the circle. And if you're feeling trapped or imprisoned by the circle and you're one of those people who wants to get stuff out, hey, we're here.
We're here. We got the balls to talk about this stuff. We're not old and ingrained into the culture and into the weird access mechanisms that are in place.
Zim said, honestly, it's Lou's wife. Lou's wife is the secret whistleblower. Who is the secret whistleblower for this Lou bug thing?
That's like Drake's mole. Dude, it's Lou's wife.
A girl named Tom says, I really have no clue. Yeah, it's honestly, it's hard to tell, but the way he says, he's like, let's listen to it one more time.
Delayed, right?
Well, let me phrase it this way. From what I have, the information that was given to me from right from a horse's mouth, one of the horses in the race, I should say.
Right from a horse's mouth, one of the horses in the race. Let's just play it all the way.
Is that one of the reasons Lou Elizondo's book has been delayed is because people within the circle, on the inside, in this group, you go pull up the group, in my video, a group of people within that are going, wait, you can't say that, Lou. Like, that didn't happen. That was me. That wasn't you, that was me that did that. You got to change that. Like, you can't just say that. And so there's this inner fracturing of the group where they're starting to call each other out. You know, there was this, like, the ends justify.
Kimball, UFO Intros, friend of the show, says, I wonder if Lou's circle is the same as James Fox's circle. What do you think, Tupa?
No, there's probably a lot of crossover, like in the Venn diagram. There's probably
not like their circle, but like the circle. I personally think so. Yes, obviously, right? The way I framed that. But
okay. I believe it. I just think
how about this?
their specialties are so different.
Is Lou Elizondo in the circle that James Fox talked about?
Yes. Yes, you know that because the way everybody else in the circle talks about Lou, they prop him up when they don't need to.
Probably some crossover. Okay. Green Street said who the circle was, and that was that they were in a picture in the video. He was specific and cited the grab. Yo, if you give us the timestamp on that, we'll click it for sure. Yeah, let's just finish this.
By the means thing at first, back in 2017, 2018, where it was like everyone was on the same team and whatever we have to say, you know, the ends justify the means. And since then, there has been like these little micro fractures within the group. And yeah, some people are fed up within that group. Some people are just fed up and they're just like, they're kind of over it. But yeah, so there's all that stuff coming on. I'm looking forward to reading his book.
Okay, yeah, so there we go. There's all the circle. Apparently, Green Street Breaking News said he's not unblocking. Not unblocking today. Maybe another day.
We just got to wake up, and try. Every day is a new opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Just talk to that dude. We'll figure it out. We don't need no Green Street Twitter access. We good. Oh, you know what? Anything else on this one? I think this is crazy.
I think that's about it for all the Green Street, whatchamacallit stuff today. The Green Street.
Dude, I want to cook on this. Did Astral release a statement about this? What is it? Is it like a recording?
Oh, he did a. You don't even know this. He did an article on Twitter. Let me see. Let me pull it up.
Pull up the graphic. Yeah, we love the graphic.
Mm-hmm.
You guys talking about the circle is so dumb. Come on, that's what he said about the hate group, Mike. First of all, there's definitely a circle, Mike. How?
Wow, Mike, I'm disappointed that you are not standing with Sans on this circle thing.
A veteran. No, Mike, we're gonna have you come on maybe tomorrow, and we can talk. I want to talk about this. I want to know what your thoughts are here, for sure.
All right, so maybe tell us who's Astral again, Tupa.
He's a Spaces host. He's a rapper. He's a creator. Friend of the show. He is a personality on UFO Twitter. He's been hosting weekly remote viewing spaces on Thursdays, and he also started and maintains UFO Twitter Week, which happens, I think, quarterly now. I'm not really sure, but it happens often. But yeah, it's great. Big spaces, Twitter spaces, big names come in, so it's cool. It's a cool thing. So this isn't just some random guy who like goes into spaces and listens to them who's having this opinion. This is a creator, a spaces host, someone who might have a finger on the pulse here, who might actually have an opinion based on experience.
I'm trying to see too. He was on an episode of this Vice show called In My Own World, but I can't find a free version of it, so we're just gonna have to not do that right now. Okay. Well, yeah. Do you want to read this then?
Here we go. When I first started hosting weekly Twitter spaces 2 years ago, the energy was electric. We were a community united by our curiosity about UFOs, psychic phenomena, consciousness, and everything mysterious and unexplained. Back then, the vibe was mostly positive and productive. About 80% of the discussions were dedicated to unpacking the phenomenon, and only a sprinkle of drama here and there, maybe 20%. How times have changed. Next slide.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. I'm like doing all this other stuff, as you can tell.
That was my classic. Okay. I always wanted to say that. Fast forward to today. And it feels like we flipped completely. Now, it seems like 80% of the time, we're caught up in the drama about community members, and only 20% is left for actual topics that brought up, going too fast, there we go, that brought us all here in the first place. It's disheartening to say the least. This shift isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's fundamentally changing the nature of what we do and potentially driving away those who are here for genuine exploration. A case in point. A recent session with Jason Sands really drove this point home. It was one of the largest and most engaging sessions we've had in a while, showing there's still a huge appetite for real, substantial discussions in our community. If we want more insiders and notable figures to feel comfortable stepping into these spaces, we have to steer back to what these discussions were meant to be about. And we need less of the personal gripes and more focus on intriguing aspects of the unknown. Why I started UFO Twitter Week. This overwhelming shift is exactly why I started UFO Twitter Week, #trademark UFO Twitter Week. I wanted to create a space that felt like those early days, full of excitement and free of drama. It's a week-long event. It's all about deep, meaningful discussions with expert guest speakers and zero tolerance for drama. The idea was to remind ourselves the potential these spaces have to educate and engage us on some truly fascinating subjects. Getting back on track. This isn't just a call out, it's a call back to what made our community great. We have a responsibility, especially to those of us who host these spaces, to guide our conversations in constructive directions. We can't let petty disputes cloud the incredible opportunity we have to learn from each other and from experts who give their time to join us. If you're feeling the same way I am, let's make a conscious effort to dial down the drama and ramp up the quality of our discussions. Let's make our community a welcoming place for serious debate and discovery again. Here's to finding that spark that got us all excited in the first place. That was me, by the way. And making every space count. It was me. Every community evolves, but let's make sure ours does so in the right direction. We started with the shared passion for the mysteries of the universe, and it's time to get back to that. Keep pushing for conversations that enlighten and inspire, and let's do it together. Here's to a better discussion ahead.
Look at Ganga. Twitter Week is the success the fun home never achieved. Damn. Shots fired.
Damn!
Nice.
So what do you think of this, Tuba?
Oh, it was very well written. I like the positive. I like that it didn't have to go so far down. I like that it veered away from specifics. I think it was well written. Kudos to Astral. But you know what? I think it has to also be said that
what has to be said, Tupa?
Some really fucked up shit happened in spaces. It happened all the time. It happened and it started the drama. This drama was because fucked up shit was happening on the platform every day, all day. And that the idea of ignoring it fucked up the whole thing. It did. It did. Yeah, Astral, you got your Twitter Week and all. I love it. I love it. But whose spaces were you in at first? It was mine. I started doing UFO Twitter spaces all day, every day. I fucking loved it. Talked to the craziest people, heard the craziest stories. It was a community effort. That was one of the reasons I got a target put on my back. And when the bomb started dropping, motherfuckers pretended like it wasn't happening, like it wasn't a sign of a big problem. It was a sign of a problem. It was organized cancellation of fucking people and contributors and creators and platformers in the community. It was 100% organized. Now we have the fucking proof. Chat, let me know if I was your first spaces when you popped in. And let me know how those fucking conversations sounded. At first, they were great. At first, they were 100% great. But when the targeting started, and it was clearly organized, I had motherfuckers in my DMs, not saying shit in real life, but in the DMs, hey, this seems really organized, man. Do you know what's going on? Why is this happening to you? because the people doing it were emboldened by the silence of everyone else looking to platform themselves and try to totally escape the whole, like, the controversy of calling out a hate group. 2 years later, now it's time to be like, hey, guys, for me, I agree with everything Astral said on his post and his article. I really do. But my perspective on this will always be, it wasn't just because people focused on, there wasn't an accidental thing. The problem was there was a marauding group of people raging through the community with organized fucking cancellation, harassment. Everyone's kids are targets. Astro, you didn't do that. I didn't do that. Red didn't do that. If there's names to drop in these articles, it's definitely the names of the people who didn't turn it into a drama space, but fucking committed criminal acts of harassment and digital terrorism against moms, parents, kids, aunts, grandmas, uncles. Why? From the same shit that Kirk Patrick's talking about. As much as I'd like to get right back to these fun electric spaces, when it was fucking danger, 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 you didn't say shit. And like the subway, if you see something, say something. But you didn't say anything. No one said anything. Red and I had to sit there and be called crazy, conspiracy theorists, fucking PDF files, the worst shit, and you said nothing. It's dangerous. Now the damage is done, right? Oh, it's just because the spaces are suffering. Well, I don't think that's the fucking reason. It's definitely because when everyone should have reacted when there was danger at the fucking front door, and the danger was to the community. It wasn't just to me and my reputation or Red's reputation or our fucking Patreons. The danger was to the community, because if Red and I don't fight it,
it would have been so much worse right now.
Who fights it? A bunch of fucking people don't say nothing? It's one thing to criticize it after the fact, but like, when, you know what I mean? For me, we were there, we were in the mix, we were targets, it was a whole thing. You had to stand up for it, or it was going to go down the line. And as much as I wanted to save my precious fucking platform or whatever it is, reputation, no, like, watching other people get chopped down, that's crazy. Couldn't do it. Won't do it. They should have said something before it got bad. What Astral said, the timeline's right. 2 years ago, it was great. It was electric. What do you think happened? A bunch of fucking psyop people got in and realized, hey, spaces are actually productive. They're learning a lot. They're talking about a lot. They're getting a lot done. This isn't good. They're not going with the narrative. They're starting to question the narrative. Something was going on. So let's get back to basics. Better spaces. Late groups hosting good spaces.
Thank you, Casual Links. Says, always proud of you two for taking that stand. Bro, the amount of BS and vitriol we get the other way for doing this is like, people want to take out all their anger on this group on us because they know me and people will never do some of the stuff this group does to people.
Yeah,
and it's annoying. But I do say, like, I agree with Astral 100%. I love Astral, actually. I like his spaces. I agree with him. I think we just disagree with how to get there. Because that was my
or how we got here.
Or how we... My goal is to make a community that's safe for, like, people, so people are welcome to come in, more people come in. Bro, people do not want to invite their family members to UFO Twitter. And this phenomenon affects everyone. I'm not saying everyone should do that, but I think we'd be in a better position if our community as a whole... And again, it wasn't always like this. This is a recent phenomenon with counter-intel people who were inserted into this community. So it doesn't always have to be like this either. So, yeah, I don't know. There you go. That's
chat saying a lot. Listen, I had to rant about that. I wanted to see what Astral's take on it was. Red, I agree. I love Astral. I think that his spaces are great, and I like that he's noticed, as everybody has, that things got kind of wonky. You know what I mean? But yeah, my perspective on that's always going to be biased and different. But as long as we can all agree to get back on track, I support Astral. I support his spaces. UFO Twitter Week. You know,
no name UFO with a bar here. Pattern holds strong. Everyone calls it drama until it comes knocking.
Shit.
That's a bar, huh?
Yep. Well said. Well said. All right. Well, you know what, guys? I think that's the news. Is that the news, Red?
I think that's the news.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Tomorrow, I think we got some interesting stuff. And I think we're going to get Project Unity on soon.
Oh, The music videos can be found on Skyfire News now. Okay, there's Richard Doty, Gary Nolan Block Me. We're getting the rest of them up there maybe tonight, by tomorrow, so that way you guys have a playlist. It'll be on a Skyfire News mixtape volume 1. You guys go there, check it out, get those numbers up. Just listen to them, share them. It's good to have a place that we can finally listen to them, I think. But also, have a good one, guys. Take care. It's always
I love this one. Shut up, Benowitz. I feel like I coined that one. To be honest, shut up, Benowitz. Stop talking about drama.
I think you did. I think you did.
All right. Well, I guess we'll catch you guys later. I'm gonna go eat something. Hell yeah. We'll see you in space probably.
Yeah, we'll be around.
We're addicted to this shit, bro.
Dude.
All right, catch you later.
Good shit, Red.
Bye.
Thank you, Tom. Hell yeah.